Welcome. Chat rules. No doxing. No homophobic bullcrap. No racial bullcrap. If you don't like someone in chat, click on their name and select block. And then select block again. Done. If you ever feel like it's all too much, log off and contact the number below for help. To be eligible for gifted memberships, click the $sign and select membership. Then hit gift settings and slide to on to allow gifts. Turn off the settings the same way. My email, conniekr68@gmail.com. Tips are appreciated, never expected. Cash App, $sign, capital CONNIEKR. PayPal me at conniekr68. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks.
Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism and commenting.
Get ready, because Constance Sue has something to say, like it or not. Good afternoon. How is everyone today? Let's get the romper room out of the way here. I see Frankie. I see Dodie. I see Grinch. I see Rowdy. Pop up on the screen. There we go. I see Tammy Lou. I see White Rabbit. Lurking. Sue. Crystal Fire. Tattoos and Unicorn. Val and me. Fizz Crank. Sandy. I see Jade. I see Dee. New York to LA. And I see you too, rumor has it. So today, someone told me last night, was it Mama T's, that X Factor did a live about me? And I'm like, what the hell? So I watched it today. It is a whole bunch of, oh my gosh, and laughs. I wasn't going to cover it, and then I'm like, yeah, this will give us something to talk about. I haven't been on a while. So we're going to talk about it. It's extra ridiculous. I want to tell her, tell me you don't know Nickalina without telling me you don't know Nickalina. As you're sitting, simping for Nickalina, hard. So let's get into it. This is the live stream. Let me get the link for you. It was February 18th. And it's Constance Sue has something to stalk. Deep dive on the dangers of stalking. I'm telling you, it's extra ridiculous. Yes, there's going to be a lot of, hey, D-Boss. There's going to be a lot of giggling because it's extra ridiculous. I guess since Nickalina had to simp for her, she had to find a way to pay back Nickalina and, and simp for her, reciprocal. So here it is. This is her thumbnail. Now remember, look at this thumbnail. This is the same chick that got all emo about people talking about her looks. Now, you see that screen right there? Her thumbnail is Big O Connie Sue. Constance has something to stalk. A deep dive on the dangers of stalking. Okay. Sounds intense, doesn't it? Now, I hope my internet now to start lagging. We pause it there. Irish D said, exercise that she's getting hate while she's dishing it. Dishing hate out to people she has no clue, right, or business with. I never spoke about this woman. Never once. Is she trying to bait me into it? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, whatever. But let's listen. I'm going to skip her intro.
ZQ, welcome to the stream, Wolf Lover. Hi, my sister's voice. Catlin, as always. Always so lovely to see you, Catlin. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, so this has been a long, long time coming. Did y'all like the thumbnail?
Oh, I forgot to tell you trigger warning.
Took a picture of Constance Sue. So let's talk about Constance Sue. Constance Sue is someone who prides herself on receipts, right? Am I right? She's all about receipts. She's all about watching the content, timestamping everything, creating playlists for everything.
Absolutely.
And that's what she's always about. And who can tell me who is her number one favorite person to create receipts on? Does anyone know?
I don't have one favorite.
Do any of you know who is her favorite person to create receipts on? Am I coming in, Clea? Can y'all hear me? I just want to make sure.
Is that too fast? Do I need to slow the speed down? Because I sped it up because I don't know how people can talk so slow. I've never spoke on Karen, not one time. But, Nickalina rode hard for Karen. Now Karen's got to ride hard for her.
Oh, you're the first one to get it. Catlin says Nick. Yeah, that is correct, Nickalina. And what I'm going to do, without further ado, is we're just going to get right into just showing this. I think it's important to do that. Hopefully the stream does not crash. Let me go ahead and load this right here. We're going to take a quick look, just a little look-see, nothing too bad. Let's take a look at Constance Sue's YouTube channel, right? We're going to take a look.
Right, D-Boss.
Loud and clear? Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. So let me add that right here. So this is Constance Sue Has Something to Say. This is her YouTube channel, right?
Hey, Dallas.
So
hey, Frankie, thank you for gifting membership.
Yeah. Oh, we should probably do that. That's correct. I heard a pop. Let me make sure that my audio is good. Hello, 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 testing. I heard a pop in my ear. I don't know why. It seems like everything's good. So let's do this. I agree. We should do that, especially for this stream. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. Explicit content. Where's Mama T when you need her? Here.
I have no explicit
Mama
content.
T, I summoned thee. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning.
Again, as she's, sitting here talking about stalking and bullying.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. And as AC likes to say, we're all actors, and this is all just an act for your entertainment, right? Interesting. So anyway, let me get this a little bit closer so you all can see it. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit. So this is Constance Sue. Doesn't really seem to have a lot of content of her own. She seems to just, sit around and she creates content out of other people's content. And that's fine. There's a lot of
as she's creating content out of my content.
channels. There's a lot of channels that try to, have clips with comedy. There's channels that try to create a story based on what someone's saying, and they summarize a clip that could be 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes long, and it sort of summarizes maybe a 6-hour stream or something like that, and it just highlights the facts. But that's not what's happening here. When I first found out about Constance Sue, this was a long time ago. One of the first things that I did was I went to her channel, and then I sorted it by oldest. So her channel, she started producing videos about 2 years ago. And it looks like it's about Bullhorn Betty, some of the early characters. And then as we keep going here, we get into Nickalina.
Now, oh, no. Let's back up here. Now, she doesn't want to show this. Go all the way down here to Bullhorn Betty. See my first slice for Bullhorn Betty? Let's count. Remember 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, and then we get to Andrew Hiltz. 6, and then we get to Ernie. 7, back to Betty. 8, back to Andrew. 9, back to Betty. 10, Dolly and Andrew. 11, Andrew. 12, Andrew and Betty. 13, Andrew and Betty. 14, Andrew. 15, Andrew. 16, Andrew. 17, Andrew and Dolly. 18, Andrew. 19, Andrew. 20, Ernie. 21, Ernie. 22, Ernie and Andrew. 23, Ernie. 24, Ernie. 25, Ernie. 26, Andrew and Rap. 27, Andrew. 28, Andrew and Ernie. 29, Bullhorn Betty, Ernie and Andrew. 30, Ernie. 31, Bullhorn Betty, Molly and Andrew. 32, Andrew, Molly. 33, Bullhorn Betty. 34, Dolly. 35, Bullhorn Betty. 36, Betty. 37, Betty and Dolly. 38, Ernie. 39, Betty. 40, Betty and Ernie. 41, Ernie. 42, Ernie. 43, Nickalina. Okay, that was 43 times 4 plus 3. You do the math. And then we get to Nickalina 1, 2, 3 with some Andrew, 4, 5 with Traders, 6 with Ernie, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 with Ernie and Dolly, 12 with Shannon, 13 McKenna and Traders, 14 Nickalina and Traders, 15 Nickalina and Bullhorn Betty, 16 Nickalina, 17, 18 Traders and Nickalina, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, Bullhorn Betty again, 33, 34, 35. There we go. Now, that's clearly not just Nickalina. That's clearly who I see as the problem. When I first started doing clips, I seen Betty as the problem. The more I watched Andrew, I seen Andrew was a bigger problem than Betty. So I switched to Andrew. Then I found Ernie. The more I found out that Ernie was a bigger problem than Betty, I started covering Ernie. Then I found Dolly. The more I found that Dolly was a bigger problem than Ernie, I started covering Dolly. And then Andrew, and so on and so on and so on, until Nickalina. Now, if I have a lot of videos about you, it's because you're a lot of problem. Exactly, Dallas. If I have a bunch of videos about you, it's because you do a bunch of stupid shit. I can't help what stupid shit you do on here. Now, if I have more videos about Nickalina than anybody, that just says that Nickalina's done more stupid shit than anybody else. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Mimi. Right? I mean, that only stands to reason. Okay, now we'll go back to this. Thank you. This is about kissing Nickalina, though. Oh, gosh. Yes, please go up. Okay. She don't get the joke. Mm-mm.
She has playlists about certain people, mostly Mean Girls or former Mean Girls and associates. But she has a lot on Nickalina. like a lot of playlists, like Nickalina and Queen Bee, Nickalina Mean Girls, TM, Tiffany Marie, Nickalina Traders Mean Girls, Nickalina Traders Mean Girls, Real Gypsy So, Litka Baby Jason.
Okay, now let's explain that. If I have a lot of playlists, that's because Nickalina has done a lot of shit to people. So every time that Nickalina has done some shit to somebody, I make them their own playlist. So if there's Nickalina and Queen Bee, it's the shit that Nickalina did to Queen Bee. If it's Nickalina and Traders, it's the shit Nickalina did to Traders. If it's Nickalina and let's say Jimbo, it's the shit that Nickalina's done to Jimbo. If it's Nickalina and ATIL, it's the shit that Nickalina's done to ATIL. You get the thing? So if there's a shit ton of playlists, that's because there's a shit ton of people that she's done some shit to. I thought it was pretty efficient. Now it's not perfect, but it's there in case anybody just wants to know, just exactly who is Nickalina and what has she done. Well, you go to my playlist and you'll see she messed with. Let me see here. Let's go back to mine. My playlist. Okay. Nickalina and Roger Brown. That's the shit she done to Roger Brown. Nickalina and Table Talk. Nickalina and Queen Bee. Nickalina and Tiffany Marie. Baby Jason. The Real Gypsy Soul. LBG. Tony. Yanni. Miss Daisy. Nickalina's fake accounts. Nickalina when she calls people pedophiles. Nickalina diagnosing everybody. Nickalina and Lady Wayne. Nickalina's live streams. Nickalina and Rosie. Nickalina and Alicia. Nickalina and Dank. Nickalina and Kimmy. All the things that she's done to these people. Heaven's Baby. So if it goes on and on and on, that's because it has gone on and on and on. It is an incredible amount of playlists. I will give you that. But that's because she's done an incredible amount of shit. So it's just their archive. Thank you, Sandy. Right. Now, this makes me wonder. Remember she said she had a stalker? She had to have a dead name because she was, sued, She does talk kind of funny. Right. There wouldn't be so many playlists if she hadn't done so much effed up things to make it to so many different people. Right. So while she's talking about the stalker behavior, I'll hear her talk about stalker behavior. Sounds like a movie Nick Does Dallas, right? And you know what? That's not even all of them. There's people that I haven't got on there, that I just haven't, made it a point to do it. Like the ones recently, like Peachy. I haven't added Peachy on there yet. I didn't add on there. Who else? Who else did she just shit on? I forgot. But anyway, okay, back to this.
Nickalina Traders, Mean Girls, LBG. Nickalina Traders, Mean Girls, Tony. So, I'm not going to keep saying Nickalina Traders, Mean Girls, because as you can see, Constance Sue has been titling a lot of her playlists Nickalina Traders, Mean Girls. And then she'll create a line, and then who is that person that they're interacting with?
Right.
So Daisy, fake accounts, PDF file information, diagnosing.
Pretty simple.
Lady Wayne Melton. So there's just a lot here. If I went over every single playlist, it would probably take me about 10 minutes.
Oh, really?
Scroll. So you think this is the end, right? You see on the bottom right where there's white space? That's what I thought too. But watch this. Keeps going. Keeps going.
Amazing, huh?
Keeps going. Betty Washam. We have a playlist on Betty Washam, but mostly this is Nickalina. We have a little bit of Ernie Shell. Oh, this is the end of the this is the end of the playlist, right? No. Just keeps going. It just keeps going, you all. It's I was shocked. Now I'll be honest, when I check this, one second. When I checked this was like 4 months ago when I looked at her profile, and I scrolled through this.
Was shocked at the amount of shit that Nickalina did, or just shocked at the amount of playlists I have? Because I find that disingenuous. If you're shocked at my playlist, you have to be shocked at the shit that's on the playlist, right? You can't just look at my playlist and say, "My God, she has all these playlists on Nickalina," and not recognize all the shit that Nickalina did. So. Stop being a simp. You look ridiculous.
To this playlist, and I was just like mortified. Because when someone has this many playlists on you,
she was mortified. Mortified at my playlist, but not mortified at the shit Nickalina did to get on the playlist.
it means that it's not healthy, regardless of what her stance is on Nickalina, and regardless of what Nickalina has or has not done according to her opinion.
Oh, regardless of what Nickalina has done, it's not healthy to have playlists. Regardless if Nickalina did the shit to get on the playlist, which was some fucked up shit. Some are petty, I'll admit that. There's some petty things on here. Like, she called me fat or something, or she called someone fat or something. No big deal. But there's some pretty major shit on here. Had you looked, X Factor.
This is not healthy. And I want to make sure that you all see this. We're not going to go over, I'm not going to click on these playlists and blah, blah, blah. That's not what this is. I just want you to see how many videos there are, how many playlists there are. And 90%.
Plus, some videos get on 2 playlists at a time. Like it covers 2 people. You know what I mean? Plus, all the videos on there aren't mine. Like if, say, Randomly Ash just did a video of the X-Mean Girls. I just made I put that in the Randomly Ash playlist. But that covers many people. Plus, it's not just my video. It's other people's video, too. These just aren't my videos. The thumbnails are my videos because I set them that way where I could. But that's not just all my videos.
90% of this is just Nickalina. All of it's Nickalina, White Rabbit, Queen Bee.
No, let's do the math. I would say half.
Stacey May. Some of these repeat because she doesn't know how to organize.
She knows how to organize, but when I'm looking for a playlist and I can't find it, I say F it and I just make a new playlist. That's I think I'm pretty damn organized.
Troll cancer patients, Hills in the Air, Mean Girls doxing, Mean Girls Southern Girl. I mean, it feels like it's never ending. A never ending playlist. These aren't individual videos. These are a playlist of videos that she cataloged. Keeps going. You thought that was the end, right? When you seen that black, or not that black, but the white spot? Nope. Just keeps going. Here, I'll add some music while we scroll through this playlist. Well, I don't think that's the one that we want. Here, we'll do this.
Amen, Jenny.
It just keeps going. You thought that was it, right? You thought, surely God, that's it at the very end there. No, it's not. So there you go. Oh, have we reached the end? So let's scroll all the way up.
Thank you, Night Owl. She went by Cool Beans, Cool Bro, Corporate Karen.
Okay, so we just went through. Let me put this on 9 lo-fi. Hey, Nickalina. Couldn't help but notice that there's about 100 playlists. Let's see. What's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 by 30. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. About 160 playlists. Out of the 160, 90% of that is you. So we're going to put it in roughly around 140, maybe 145 playlists that are exclusively about Nickalina.
And over here to some of the comments, we have Nickalina saying, "Psycho AF." Katie says, "This is embarrassing." Sweet Katie says, "Constance needs some serious mental help." Rand 5150 said, "In addition to the videos, it's her perception. She manipulates facts to fit her jaded narrative." Ridiculous.
I personally do not understand this. First of all,
I think I just explained it pretty well right there. It's not, and it's really not that it has to be explained. It's pretty. This is from a woman that's been in the military, that has read strategic files. Where to drop bombs and shit. Like that. She's supposed to be an officer, and she don't understand this. I can't figure this out. She says, "Stop being disingenuous to stem for Nick. You look ridiculous. You can't figure this out. You shouldn't have been in the military."
Let's just go at the very, very beginning level. Constance, you need to be more organized. The OCD person in me wants to go ahead and just call you out right.
I doubt you're OCD.
Now, girl, you need to organize your fucking playlist better.
I do my best without being obsessed,
The first time I did this, I actually got a hand cramp scrolling through all the different playlists.
Well, then stop.
My fingers started hurting.
Well, then stop. If it's hurting you, then stop, dum-dum. Why would you go through pain for me? I'm nothing. Just a sip for Nick. If something's hurting your hand, stop.
Oh my God, you all. We have the lady of the night. Constance Sue is on panel.
No,
Constance
I wasn't.
Sue is here, you all. I can't believe it. I need to put it up. 1 second. Oh God, I'm freaking out. Constance Sue, is that you?
How dare you? How dare you?
Constance
How dare
Sue
you?
Are you upset? Are you upset, Miss Sue, about the playlist?
Nickalina is a piece of shit. Nickalina goes real life. She's a piece of shit. She's just a piece of shit, Karen.
Why do you have 145 playlists about Nickalina?
There's way more than that. I've hidden it.
Oh, you've hidden it.
Not
Yeah, there's
145
There's over
playlists.
1,000
Oh, bullshit.
clips that I did out of context, intentionally, if you will.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I mean, not intentionally. It was all not taken out of context.
What?
Exactly.
Yeah, all Karen has to say is exactly. She don't know what the hell she's talking about either.
Exactly.
So, do you care to explain why you feel the need to catalog this many things?
Well, I'm obsessed with Nickalina.
What is it about her?
I want to wear her
special to you?
skin.
That's girl.
That is so old and lame.
I want to wear her skin.
Who was that just said that in the background?
Frank. It was Nicole's husband.
Ruby Doo says, what's up front of you like this, it's definitely looking like an unhealthy obsession on one person. Now let's talk about spinning the narrative. Spin the narrative to say that I only covered a few other people besides Nickalina and that I had 1,000 videos of Nickalina. We just counted. That's clearly not true. So let's talk about spinning the narrative to fit something.
Oh my God, you all! Constance Sue is sleeping with Frank. No, this is the story. It gets so thick. Oh my God. So, I wonder what would cause someone to have this much time that they create a playlist this large. That to me is something that's very curious.
Let me tell you how much time it takes. This is how much time it takes. Say I'm watching this video. I come down here. I hit share. No, wrong one. Duh. I hit save. My computer's running slow as hell. And then it says save to any of these or create a new playlist. And I, right here, type. And I hit create. That's how long it takes. When you're watching a video, you just save it to the right playlist. It's not that hard, nor dramatic.
I'd like to find out the answer. Constance Sue, with the real Constance Sue, I would love for you to come up since,
I wish I would have seen this because I would have came up.
This is about you, right?
Right.
I would love for you to come up and explain yourself before I go forward. And this is absolutely going to be a deep
Well, it's not that hard to figure out. I would think an officer in the military could figure it out. But here we are.
dive. There's no doubt.
Katie said, look at her T-Rex arms. What? Oh, because I'm opening the door? Oh, okay. So I have T-Rex arms. Okay. Worst things you can say about me.
No doubt.
At least you're not talking about my fat ass.
I want to show you all where this starts and how this could end. Or how far it could go, potentially. It looks like Nickalina dropped off.
Come on with the dramatics.
So what I want to do is I want to go over just a little bit of
Thank you, Audrey.
the history here. When it first, so my introduction to, I didn't mean to play that. My introduction to stalking occurred through my own situation regarding stalking. And I started doing research on that. And I stumbled upon a Dr. Phil.
Now, noticing what she calls stalking, I think we need to take that for a grain of salt. But let's look at stalking. I Googled it. Internet stalking. And it says, sending excessive, abusive, or threatening texts or emails. That's one of them. Another one was persistent and unwanted contact from someone online. Another one is the 4 categories of stalking: surveillance, life invasion, intimidation, and interference through sabotage or attack. Let's go back up here. Sending excessive, abusive, or threatening texts or emails. I've never done that. Persistent but Nickalina has. Persistent and unwanted contact from someone online. I don't know that I contact her. I just stay in my own lane and make my own videos. But Nickalina's done that. Surveillance, life invasion, intimidation, interference through sabotage or attack. Pretty sure I haven't done any of that. We might say surveillance. We might reach out there and give me surveillance. Because I guess you could say that's surveillance, watch your videos. But life invasion, intimidation, and interference through sabotage or attack, Nickalina's done that. So let's go hear more about how I, air quotes, stalk. Oh, wait a minute. This off. Okay. There we go. Oh, you still thing.
Or how far it could go potentially. It looks like Nickalina dropped off. So what I want to do is I want to go over just a little bit of the history here. When it first, so my introduction to, I didn't mean to play that. My introduction to stalking occurred through my own situation regarding stalking, and I started doing research on that. And I stumbled upon a Dr. Phil episode. Now I am going to share this tab, and I want you all to see this. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. I'm gonna pause the music.
Now she's going to share a story about two guys on the internet, how they stalked each other. And you see if who relates mostly to these two men, to Leonard and Rick. See who relates to Leonard and Rick more, me or Nickalina?
Music in the background. Actually, it might be beneficial to play the music in the background to avoid a copyright strike. Fuck. I'm not sure if Dr. Phil copyright strikes. If you play a WWE video, they will immediately jerk your fucking channel. But I really want you all to see where this can go and the length that someone who's obsessed will go.
Reach out.
Do you all hear that? He does strike videos?
Reaching.
Okay, well, I went and I checked some of
Hey, Jack.
I checked some of the videos. I just typed in Dr. Phil episode reaction, and there's a few content creators that are literally reacting to episodes, and they're still up. So
Keep reaching.
I guess I'll play. I mean, if the stream suddenly goes down, then you know why. Okay, you'll know why.
Family. They claim for 6 years you're a pedophile. That's all you are.
Do you have proof that he is a child molester?
He's been threatening them.
That's what you're.
Who's called anybody a pedophile or a child molester? Not me. That'd be Nickalina. Box for Nickalina.
So that is what we're going to get into right now.
Stalking us and trying to kill our family?
Never said I was going to kill your family.
You did say you were going to blow him hamburger meat, right?
No, I told you. Back
Who said they were going to cut somebody's throat if they didn't pay back money? Wasn't me. Check mark. That'd be Nickalina.
From outer space might snatch your daughter.
So this is Rick and Leonard. This is the
Which could just as easily be Nickalina. Watch this. You'll see. This could just as easily be Nickalina on the Dr. Phil show.
Where stalking can go. It can end up on the Dr. Phil show. Now, Rick and Leonard, this started around 2010. And Leonard started messaging Rick. He had there's a lot of things that the Dr. Phil show doesn't talk about. I don't want to reveal too much. You all, this is going to be, we're going to get into so much fuck shit that you all are going to be like, what the fuck is happening right now? I'm going to show you the length of stalking here. All right.
Thank you, Jenny, for the 99 super sticker.
Oh, goodness. I don't need that. We're going to skip that. Oh my God, there's so much to cover in this. Oh, this is going to get struck. You all better celebrate my channel while it lasted. This is going to get struck all the way to hell and back. I already know it. That's okay, because I've wanted to talk about this for a while. I just wasn't brave enough. Okay? I want you to see the face of stalkers and where it can go.
That's all you are. That's all this is amounted to, is you being a pedophile, and you've been exposed. I called him out for preying on little kids. Richard, OG Rajil, Rich, however the...
Who's called people out for being a pedophile? Not me. That'd be Nickalina.
Child predator wants to call himself is on the internet, taking advantage of little children. I'm going to continue to you up.
So,
excuse me. Who said, I'm going to continue to fuck you up? Not me. That'd be Nickalina.
This, just so you all know, this is Leonard. This is Leonard.
Leonard Alina.
He is something to behold. He is absolutely batshit crazy.
Fitting.
Well, Rick says Leonard has threatened to rape his 18-year-old daughter, torture his 14-year-old son, and blow his entire family into hamburger meat. His wife, Jennifer, says she fears for their safety and is afraid they
So there's a lot of threats that happen there.
will have to move again if Leonard finds out their address.
Right. Who doxes people? Not me. That'd be Nickalina.
Leonard has been stalking and harassing my family.
So that's Rick. Now, Rick is a hip hop artist.
And me online every single day for 6 years. Never met Leonard in person, but he is 100% obsessed with me.
Who's been obsessed with somebody for every day for 2 years? Wouldn't that be Nickalina and Jimbo? And Nickalina and Ernie? I mean, you go over here and you look at this. This is her backup because she's got all of her videos taken down on her other one. But let's just look at all these. Jimbo, Mama T, and Ernie. 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 Yeah. So I must, if you're going to put the stocking shoe on me, you damn sure need to put it on Nickalina, because for 2 years, I ain't stalked nobody for 2 years.
Absolutely, completely, and utterly obsessed.
I want to change the world.
I'm gonna skip this part because it actually has his. I don't want Rick to copyright strike me. Now, okay, I'm going to tell you all. I know Rick. Spoiler, I've talked with him.
And the wall.
I don't want you to strike me, Rick.
And complimented me on a couple of my videos. He started telling me some intimate things about himself. Kind of got weirded out and just didn't reply anymore.
So that's where this started. This is really important to understand. So what happened? Leonard found his hip hop videos and started making comments on his YouTube channel. And some of the comments were a little sus. Maybe.
Well, let me tell you how this got started with me and Nickalina. I seen she was doing a bunch of fucked up shit on the internet, and I documented it. Hardly tit for tat. Nickalina's done nothing to me except contact my son and put my house picture on YouTube. So this is not tit for tat. This is me seeing her doing tit and tat, and I said, I'm going to document this, and that's what I did. It's just that easy, X Factor. You'd think a military officer could figure it out. But I suppose not.
Maybe a little over the top, maybe somewhat sexually seductive or whatever. And Rick was like, yeah, I'm not really about that. So he basically told him in polite terms to fuck off. And that's where all of this started against Leonard, where Leonard just freaked the fuck out.
He got angry. Leonard said many lies about me. The main one, he said I'm wanted by the FBI for being a child predator, which is one.
Who said many lies about people? Not me. That'd be Nickalina.
So the Dr. Phil episode does not go into this. I will explain Leonard's reasoning. Now, I will also admit I have been in contact with Leonard. That's correct. This fuck shit goes deep, and I'm going all the way down into it. Picture a big giant Olympic size pool of shit, and I am jumping off the high dive and going right down into this shit. Okay? Yes, that's correct. Copyright disclaimer.
100% false.
Richard is still currently hiding from law enforcement.
So I've been in contact with both of these individuals. Now, I will admit that I've only been in contact with Leonard, the crazy one, once for about an hour over the phone. And
what kind of weirdo hooks up with two random men on the internet for gossip? This weirdo.
And that was the last time that I ever wanted to talk to him.
He has videos up accusing me of murdering children, threatening to rape him, his children.
Richard is someone who's threatened my little girl with rape.
He got 49 videos about me.
So another thing that they don't talk about is that, so Rick, and especially Leonard has had probably over 100 different YouTube channels trying to expose Rick over the years since 2011. Almost all of them are gone. It's really almost impossible to contact either of these two individuals at this point because, well, I'll get into it. But
anything he's saying is 100% lie. Leonard says he's going to blow my entire family up into hamburger meat.
So let me read what that
says. Nickalina said she's going to cut somebody's throat.
It says 7 hours. That's all it takes.
Nickalina called in a fake meth lab. Nickalina called in a fake man with a gun. Nickalina called in a fake fight out in front of the little in Georgia. Have I done that? Nope, sure haven't. Never have made one false call to the police. Never one false welfare check. Never one man with a gun. Nope, I've never done that.
It takes. Now, at this time, Leonard was living in Washington. It's just south of Canada, like not Washington, D.C., but like Washington State. And Rick at that time was living in California.
Thank you, Grant.
So here he says 7 hours. That's all it takes. I don't have remorse. I'll blow everyone in hamburger meat. No remorse. Don't F with anyone else.
Entire family up into hamburger meat. I have 4 kids.
Rick is definitely the good guy, in my opinion. The guy who's talking right now. You'll know the bad guy.
He's my own.
Well, that says a lot. Rick is a good guy in her opinion. Okay.
That's all I live for. He's constantly emailing my daughter, Facebooking my son. He's threatening.
Who has emailed or Facebooked somebody's son? That'd be Nickalina. Have I? Nope. Not once, not to anybody ever have I emailed their son or Facebooked or anything like that. That'd be Nickalina.
Notice how Constance Sue shows that name. Constance Sue has something to say. Constance as in obsessive.
Constance as in that's my name. Dum dum.
We're really going to put together this deep dive.
Rape my daughter while I walk.
Oh, it's a deep dive. Remember, folks, this chick says she was a military officer. Well, let's see how she puts together the name Constance Sue, as in constant, as opposed to Betty Sue, because that's not my damn name, dum dum. Hey, Laura, thank you. We're going to do a deep dive on this. Like, this is deep dive worthy, okay? Remember, she was an officer in the military. An officer in the military. Right, Tammy? If this is a deep dive, come on now. Thank you, Kim. I agree.
I watch and then shoot me in the face. There'll be times when I drive my daughter home from school when I look in the mirror and I see her just crying.
So this is crazy, y'all.
My youngest son he's got a heart condition.
Who has made a little girl cry on the internet? Who has almost made a little girl go into therapy because she wanted to unalive herself? That would be Nickalina, not me.
His goal for I think he's really going to kill us.
I'm going to skip that part because that'll probably get my channel
haven't
banned.
had any peace in 6 years.
What are we going to do if we find out where we live? We're going to have to move again.
So to my knowledge, they have moved at least 6 times because of Leonard.
She's comparing me to this Leonard guy. Okay, Nickalina, how many times have you had to move because of me? On the other hand, Nickalina, the dum-dum, puts her full address out there. City, state, town, zip code, street number, and phone number. We are not the same, dum-dum.
I never even believed anyone until this. He's unreal. You will see.
Now, I want to put this into context. I discovered this episode about a year after it aired because I had my own stalking situation that occurred.
Now, remember to take that word stalking with a grain of salt, because clearly we see what she calls stalking. Drama down a bit there, X Factor. Just like when she was on AC's panel. She was over there, I'm going to take your channel, you're being a trans bastard, you're abusing me. And she sat there for over an hour. As they were just telling, like he said, bust your balls jokes. You know, like two guys would say to each other, you know, putting each other down. It was nothing transphobic about it at all. And I'm no AC fan.
Now, this video, this was released on YouTube in 2017. I believe this aired. Let's see, I don't have the actual date that it aired. This aired, I believe, in late 2016 or the beginning of 2017 on the Dr. Phil show. It could have aired over the summer, but then they didn't release it. I'm not too sure, but I was trying to figure out stalking. Like, why are people stalking? Like, what is their motive? What the fuck's going on? And I discovered this, and that's the reason.
So she's trying to figure out stalking. What is their motive? Oh, gee. Let's go to look at Connie's videos. Well, I suppose if you don't play any of them, you sit there and wander your life away. Wonder, wonder, wonder. I wonder what Connie's doing. I wonder. But if you play one video, then you're like, oh, this is what Nickalina did to this person. Well, let me see the next one. Oh, shit, that's what Nickalina did to her. Oh, shit, that's what Nickalina did to her. Oh, shit, that's what Nickalina said about cancer patients. Oh, shit, that's what Nickalina did calling in a meth lab. Oh, shit, that's what Nickalina did calling in a man with a gun. Yeah. See, I would expect a military officer that's doing a deep dive to at least watch the videos, right? Not just sit up here and go, oh, I'm a dumb airhead. I'm trying to figure out what this is going on here. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. And I just don't get it. If this is a representative of our military, we're screwed. We're just screwed. Maybe that's why she's not in the military anymore.
That's the reason why I reached out to these people, because I was like, what the fuck?
Okay. Now, Rick, you've never met this person, right?
Not a person, no.
You don't know him? You've never had any encounter with him? You've never been in the same room with him?
Now remember, she says Rick's the good guy.
You don't know.
He's taken me to court 5 times. But
Y'all hear that? Leonard, the person who has threatened to blow up.
Have I taken anybody to court? Zero, zilch, nada. Has Nickalina took people to court? Yes, and proud of it. Another check mark for Nickalina.
This guy, Rick, and his family up in Hamburger Meat has took him to court. What do you say, 5 times?
He's never been in the same room with him. Don't know.
He's taking me to court 5 times.
Taken him to court 5 times. Now, there's a reason for that.
But being I had a restraining order, I was able to do it over the phone.
So Rick got a restraining order against Leonard before he was able to take him to court.
Right.
Yeah,
In fact, I cannot take Nickalina to court because Nickalina's never done anything to me. And I'm not so drama llama, exaggeration person that I'm going to say, oh, I need a protection order from Connie. Who has said that, though? Nickalina said that. She said she was going to get a protection order from me. Ridiculous.
So why you? Why is
I'm
he?
here. Let's ask him. I don't understand.
He threatened your family. We heard the video where
I've only sent in.
he says he's going to spend the rest of his life you up, your daughter, your son, your family. He's going to destroy you.
The way he says it, he's.
So
I've never said that, but who's heard Nickalina say that about Ernie? Many people have. That's Nickalina's thing, not mine.
this is like an obsession that Leonard has. And it all started
Well, if Leonard has the obsession, then Nickalina would have the obsession.
because Rick did not reply to his YouTube comments, to Leonard's YouTube comments in the way that Leonard wanted him to. Leonard was being overly sexual and suggestive. And Rick
It's always sexual with this person. Always. X Factor, it always has something sexual. You've got to drag it sexual into everything.
wasn't down with that. And Leonard got pissed off. And it's been snowballing. Keep in mind, this is around 2017 when this was filmed.
Sacrificing himself to do this. So he told me he's going to kill me and then himself. So that's what I think sacrificing yourself means. And I take it serious. At first, he was messing with me for a couple years.
So he was just messing with Rick by himself.
And I can handle myself. And then he's starting to bring my children to this. And I'm very upset about that.
Who brings children into this? I don't think it's me. I do believe that Nickalina does that.
Now, to find the full episode of this is almost impossible. So what I have to end up doing is I have to go and find the clips. And I actually have them already brought up in order, the ones that are still publicly available. So as we go through here, I'm going to play what clips are available, and then we're going to go over it.
Yawn.
So, I don't want to reveal a lot of the stuff that I had to say. I'll let this part go play.
Playing a lot of mind games, and it does need to stop. He has definitely sexually harassed people online, pretending to be me. In retaliation, I definitely got aggressive online. I believe Richard is a child predator because I found these videos of him calling little girls, even though.
Okay, so in the episode, they do not talk about this in detail about what Rick was doing. Rick had a YouTube channel in which he was sharing his experiences with the paranormal, primarily also alien contact. So Rick had a hip hop channel, and he also had a channel in which he did a call-in show, and he would share his experiences in which he believes that he was abducted by aliens. And during that call-in show, there were a younger audience, two younger people called him, and they simply talked on the phone during the.
Oh, but exaggerating that out to be pedophiles sounds like something Nickalina would do.
Call-in, and that's where Leonard is basing all this information because Rick took a phone call. He didn't know who was on the other line. Whenever you put up a number for a call-in show, you don't know who's going to call. Like I could put up a number right now. I have no fucking clue who's going to call me. It'll probably be Constance. But Rick took the call and he had a polite conversation with the young. I believe it was like someone who was 17 or 16 or whatever. Just had a polite conversation, and that was it.
Little boys pretending to be a prophet. Richard was on the internet calling little boys and girls, asking these kids to meet up with him.
So here's the context behind this that's not discussed on the episode. This is a picture of a publication in which Rick was featured in. It was just a simple meeting. Leonard found that, and he screenshotted it, and he blurred those two guys' faces, and then claimed that the FBI was hunting them. All that was false. He just
Who makes up false claims? Nickalina.
found a picture of Rick on the internet and then used it to try to make it seem like he was under investigation and that the FBI was on a manhunt for him. He completely lied.
Behind closed doors. He targeted me because I called him out. Everything definitely escalated when I made videos on YouTube asking the world for help. He took those videos and remixed them, trying to make it look like I had molested my children.
So Rick took those videos and he simply added text in between the clips.
Who has said that others have molested children? Their children? That would be Nickalina, Griff, Jimbo, just to name a few.
With his own information. He did not actually edit the videos. Rick is not that good at video editing.
People definitely started saying that I was a child molester and that I needed to take a dirt nap.
So Leonard was originally accusing him of being a PDF file, and now he is claiming to be the victim.
I got fired from my job because of Richard's tactics. Richard told them that I was cyber.
So Rick was getting stalked so much by Leonard that he contacted his place of employment.
Who's contacted employers? Not me. That would be Nickalina.
That'll be explained.
Stalking him and his family. Richard says I threatened to rape his daughter, and this is definitely not true. I messaged Richard and told him in a non-serious way that if he didn't leave me alone, reptilians from outer space would snatch his daughter.
So he left a comment saying, I'll have them bring her to a spaceship where the reptilians and I will have our way with her. Now, this context is important because this is Leonard's way of making fun of Rick and his alien abduction story. This is not something that is hit on by the Dr. Phil show, but you have to understand more about Rick and his experiences. This is Leonard basically indirectly harassing Rick and also making fun of his alien.
If you're saying ridiculous stories about aliens, you can expect to get harassed.
Alien abduction story, which is odd because I just happen to know that Leonard also claims to have been abducted by aliens several times. So both of these individuals openly talk about that they were abducted by aliens, and they are harassing each other, talking about lizards and aliens abducting. It's fucking crazy.
And that we would have our way with her. Richard messaged me, and he stated he found my family, and this was gonna be fun now.
So this got to the point where, now I believe here Rick shouldn't have done this. I think that this is the straw that broke the camel's back. Hey, Jen, how are you? He found his family and then said, this is going to be fun now. So I believe that
Who's found family and said it was going to be fun now? Not me. That'd be Nickalina.
is when Leonard opened it up to Rick's family and then started attacking Rick's family.
Be fun now. He sent me a picture of my son's bedroom window, and it scared me. I don't know what he's capable of. He's made me afraid for my life.
Who's put a picture of a house on YouTube? That would be Nickalina. She put a picture of my house on YouTube with my street address available. Have I done that? Nope, sure I haven't. Does the fan noise make too much? Let me know and I'll shut the door.
So here, Leonard is trying to play the victim. Oh my God. This was the reason why I became obsessed with this whole situation. I want you all to see this. And I don't care if I get copyright struck. Oh my God, I want you to see this. How do I want you to see this in full. Watch the way that Leonard looks as he's walking up to meet Rick for the first time. These two are meeting for the first time on the Dr. Phil show after harassing and stalking each other for 6 fucking years. I want you to pay attention to this, Constance Sue, because this could be your history. I am forecasting. Do you understand, Constance? Let me take your comment off, Dan. So that way you don't get wrapped up in this. Let's see. Which one of you wants to be? Okay. I want you to watch how scary this is when Leonard looks at Rick.
Well, he's made me afraid for my life.
That is the scariest shit I've ever.
A little side note. Hi, Ash. I don't have a problem with Ash, but I wish Ash would give Grinch an apology because I think Grinch is owed that.
Shit I've ever seen in my life. Keep in mind, at the time that they're meeting, at this moment, they have stalked and harassed one another for 6 years.
Leonard, how are you, sir?
That's okay, Nickalina. We have gotten into the forecasting of where stalking can get you. And I wanted to go over a case in which I'm aware of.
Right.
Yeah. So tell me how you feel about being here today.
Long overdue.
What is it you want people to know?
So it's long overdue. They've been stalking and harassing each other on the internet for 6 years. Now keep in mind, Constance Sue, how long has she been stalking Nickalina?
Let's use that word loosely. It's not stalking. And it's, I don't know, 9 months maybe that I've been documenting her shit, not stalking.
For those of you who want to keep track, what, 18 months?
What I want people to know is that I found this man here, Richard, on the internet, calling little boys and girls.
That's not true. They called him on his call-in show.
Pretending to be a prophet.
That's also not true. I've actually watched these episodes. These episodes got deleted. Damn it. I wish I would have saved these episodes.
Who makes up lies on the internet about people? Not me. That'd be Nickalina.
Because I actually watched them. I went back when I got invested into this case, and I
Thank
went back
you,
and I
Ash.
watched that channel before Rick deleted it. Rick had a fucking call-in show, as I mentioned. some minors called in, and Rick had shared a story about how he thought that the aliens gave him powers or gave him the ability to understand things, and Leonard interpreted it as him claiming he was a prophet.
You can't say anything about that, can you? It's been 6 years.
What does that have to do with you?
You stalked me for calling you out.
You just said I'm a prophet.
I
Exactly,
did not say you
Chrissy.
were a prophet. What I just said was you were calling little boys and little girls pretending to be a prophet. That's what I just said.
That's not true, by the way.
What was my goal for that reason? What was
Why
my
don't you
goal?
tell everybody that?
I'm asking you. You're here. We're here. I'm asking you to explain that. What was my goal with those conversations that you're talking about?
I think you're a child
You
predator.
think.
So Leonard just says, I think. In the same way that Constance Sue, if you were to ask her, how do you think about Nickalina? You know,
I've never said she was a child predator. But who has said that? Oh, that'd be Nickalina that said that.
Constance Sue would have this spew of things that she thinks about Nickalina. It's the same
I think she's a vile, disgusting person. Done.
MO. It's the same level of operation. And
Oh my God, drama down, woman.
when I look at Constance Sue's YouTube channel and her playlist, that's what I see is stalking behavior in the same way that Leonard, this guy right here on the screen, has been stalking Rick. I see this.
Remember, she's an officer in the military. If that don't make you giggle, I don't know what will. She is reaching out there, stretching and reaching as far as she can to say that I am like this man stalker of 6 years. Our military is just fucked.
See the same exact thing.
This is a serious allegation, and you're on national television at this point making that allegation. So, do you have proof that he is a child molester?
A convicted child molester.
No.
So
Now, who has called somebody out saying that was a child molester? That would be Nickalina. Don't know how many times I got to say that.
he's accusing him of all this. And Dr. Phil just asks him directly, do you have proof? Now, one of the things you have to understand about the Dr. Phil show is before they bring a guest on, they actually have staff members that Dr. Phil employs that look up
I would love for Dr. Phil to have Nickalina on.
all of these cases, and they have a binder that they gather on each person that's going to be on the show, and they document everything. They gather as much information as possible so they can tell the best story and have the best episode possible. So when Dr. Phil asks this, he already knows what Leonard is going to say because they've received the information and they have a binder already put together on this.
None whatsoever.
How can you make that allegation if you have no proof?
I believe that Richard is a child predator based on
No proof.
10 years of being on the internet, calling little boys and calling little girls.
Would you let me?
Look at the way he looks at Rick. To me, personally, I think that Leonard is, for some reason, sexually attracted to Rick.
Why does she always got to bring that up?
And this is all just turned into some weird stalking thing.
Did you say you have no proof?
Pretending to be a prophet.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Well, this is a post that Leonard claims
Thank you,
that
Grant.
Rick made
I love
on
you
June
too.
4th of 2016. That Leonard, a cyber stalker, he is wanted for threatening to rape a minor.
And it says multiple restraining orders for harassment and death threats. Please be aware and be safe. Now, this is just shit that he made up.
And you say this is a post that Rick made about you, correct?
That is correct.
Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
And why did you do that?
I was trying to get a hold of him for so I was redoing my stalking order. It had expired in July.
Now, what sense does that make? Okay, I'm going to try to get a hold of this guy by making up some false shit. Because I want to renew my stalking order. Thank you, unsupervised. Hey.com. Hey, Lulu.
July, and I needed to get his address, so I was just trying to find his address so I can have him served.
Now, keep in mind when I cover this, I don't think that Rick's hands are completely clean in this. I think that Rick gets frustrated and he responds to Leonard's obsessive behavior, and sometimes he adds fuel to the fire.
You did this to find his address?
Yes.
You said he's hiding from the FBI. Right?
Well, if he's hiding from the FBI, he's not doing a very good job because he's on the Dr. Phil show. Now, I'm going to continue with this. There's only 2 or 3 more clips left that are publicly available.
Out this week, right? Yeah.
We got an ad.
To play 100 songs on piano in an hour.
You've been to the police.
Yes.
That Leonard posted a video on YouTube threatening him and his family. So let's take a look.
You're so short. You're such a little. I you up, and I'm going to continue to you up in front of your wife.
Jada says, if you ruin someone's rep with false CP accusations, you're lucky they don't hurt you. They may have nothing left to lose. This is true. That's the reason why I never make those claims, and I never recommend
Jade said, if you ruin someone's rep with false CP accusations, you're lucky they don't hurt you or hunt you. They may have nothing left to lose. Right. I've never done that. On the other hand, Nickalina has.
And anyone do that because it can ruin people's lives.
Ashamed and completely embarrassed of you. In front of your kids, in front of your gay daughter, in front of your crippled son, I'm going to continue to you up until the day
Hey, Curiosity.
I made you stop. That's right. I gave you orders and you followed them, whether you liked it or not.
Silent,
you all
no, but they
see
should
like,
have.
the craziness that's in his eyes. This is not someone that's firing on all cylinders. Kimberly, yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I'm going to continue to do that to you till the day you die.
And by the way, they're still stalking. Well, Leonard is still stalking Rick as of today. It hasn't stopped, even after this was filmed.
You're a pedophile. That's all you are. That's all this is amounted to, is you being a pedophile, and you've been exposed.
All this because Leonard didn't like that Rick didn't reply to his YouTube comments in the way that he wanted him to.
Let's think about it. Now, why did Nickalina go after Jimbo? Because she didn't like him making up with Ernie. Why did Nickalina go after Ernie? Because she was going to troll him.
Please don't believe this. This kills me.
So what was your reaction when you first saw this kind of message from him?
This one is recent. I've had six years of this.
This has been.
Keep in mind that was back when this was filmed in 2017. So that's like 2011-ish.
Going on and on
Every
and on.
day. The day I got the restraining order, he made the same thing.
You've been to the police?
Yes.
And what do they tell you?
They tell me the crime is committed in Oregon. It's being committed in Oregon. The Oregon police say the crime is being committed in California. So nothing they can do.
These are terroristic threats,
Yes.
and they're telling you that there's nothing that can be done about this.
So I did kind of get.
See, I call bullshit on that. I don't believe that they would say that. The crime is committed in her state. Well, on his state and this. But again, for the other department, it's the other person. So anytime two states are involved, it's the FBI. It's federal. Right, Jenny, that's what she's doing. Well, kinda. But not really, because she's over there. She's high up on the kiss ass list now. I don't think she'd really do that much.
Kind of get this a little mixed up. Obviously, Leonard was out and talking to Dr. Phil, but I think that Leonard left and then came back. I'm not exactly sure. This episode of Dr. Phil, you can't really find it. There's a backstory behind that. Leonard didn't feel like he was represented properly in the episode, and he threatened to sue Dr. Phil. And so there's like a huge thing because Leonard felt like he was being picked on, and so he always tries to make himself the victim. And so you're not going to find a full episode of this, I don't believe. And if you do, you'll be extremely lucky.
This is an excerpt from a comment that Leonard posted on Rick's YouTube channel.
Oh, keep in mind, there's one thing he said that's important. The police in California said that the crime was being committed in Washington, and the police in Washington said that the crime was being committed in California. So what was happening there? Nobody wanted to help. That's the story. And yes, when I talked to Rick, I asked him about the FBI, and he said that he already had done that several times, and that they just didn't do anything. He already filed IC3 reports and did all that, talked to agents, tried to make his case. Because that's what you naturally do. You say, okay, this person's in another state, so we'll contact the FBI and see if they can't get involved. Well, what most people don't understand is the FBI doesn't really get involved unless it involves something that is so intense that it requires.
No, not so intense, and this is like two states involved. How they get involved? There's three things. If it's over, I think $100,000. If whatever crime involves over $100,000, if it's two states involved, they get involved. Or if it's something they have a party to, like copyright. That's the three ways they get involved.
Requires their resources.
In September of 2013. Your family is not off limits. This is a declaration of war against Richard. It
says anyone.
Who has said that family isn't off limits? That wouldn't be me. That would be Nickalina.
One who defends his actions or illnesses. Next up, Rick's son, the genetic defect, whose dad is an alien profiteering narcissistic crackpot.
Video to make it seem like Leonard is saying something he's not. So let's take a look at what you did to the video.
So the only thing that Leonard did, or not Leonard, but Rick, the only thing that Rick did was he, just like this right here, he just added text and then he showed Leonard talking. Added more text, showed Leonard talking. He didn't.
Who makes clips like that? Added text, showed Leonard talking. Added text, show Leonard talking. Let's replace with Nickalina. Added text, show Nickalina talking. Added text, show Nickalina talking. That's what I do.
Didn't edit Leonard's words or anything like that. So Leonard's defense, when it comes to this, fails miserably. We'll skip that.
And made it seem like he was saying something he wasn't saying. You added some music to it, and you put some slates commenting
I love how Dr. Phil says slates.
on what he was saying and what you wanted people to attend to. But you didn't alter his words in any way, correct?
I'm not that good. No.
Yeah.
All right, so here we are. We're getting into the specifics of what they did to one another and where they're at. I'm gonna go ahead and play this next clip. I'm trying to get through it as fast as possible. I know
the page.
I know that this is not like, this is important, but there's so much to talk about in this particular case. You know, this could be its own playlist. So this is more like a summary of this particular situation. I'm gonna wait until this ad stops here.
No, we don't know Leonard or Rick.
Hi, Big Warrior.
Here's the backstory as I see it. Nickalina rode hard for X Factor, so X Factor's return the favor. Well, who does she got to put down that would make Nickalina the happiest? That would be me. Then what she got to relate it to? Everything she relates stuff to. No, Tiny. Stalking. So then she comes up with this Rick and Leonard thing. Yeah. To stretch it so bad, to relate it to me and Nickalina. And me being the bad person. Okay.
So this is one of, I should probably share the tab. Duh, why am I not? Sorry.
Read him like a book, so easy to read.
I did ask her if she was aware that Richard had been stalking me. She did threaten me, and she said that some of her friends would come after me.
Well, I'm talking to Leonard, who says he reached out to a woman he never met, Jennifer, on social media to let her know that her husband was living a double life and stalking him. Leonard says,
Who has reached out to social media for people in past relationships? Sounds about like Nickalina with a dash of Jimbo.
instead of believing him, Jennifer got defensive and threatened to have him, quote, handled.
Did you all even hear the video until I switched it over? Sorry about that.
But Jennifer says that is not the case. What really happened, according to her, was Leonard called accusing her husband of having an affair and then got angry and called her a, quote, fat bitch when she asked for proof. Take a look.
Leonard is obsessed with stalking my husband. Leonard is psychotic, ignorant, and heartless. We are the victims here. Leonard contacted me online and told me that Richard was having an affair. I asked Leonard to provide evidence.
So naturally, she didn't want to believe him, and she said, "Can you provide evidence of what you're claiming?" Because to her, this is a complete stranger, and it's like, "Hey, yeah, I'm not going to just believe you over my husband. I need evidence."
And he never did. He got mad at me and started calling me a fat bitch.
You fat bitch!
What are we going to do if he finds out where we live? We're going to have to move again.
No.
I have personally heard Leonard threaten to rape my daughter.
That's so wrong.
He also threatened to kidnap my 12-year-old son. My children fear for their lives. He said he was going to my son in the heart. I take Leonard's threats very seriously. I don't know why this man has such a vendetta against my husband. My husband is not a child predator. My biggest fear is that he will send somebody to my house and kill us.
This is some insane shit, you all. Now we're going to get to the, I believe it's
That's some insane shit, y'all. But who have we heard do that type of shit? Insane shit. That would be Nickalina.
last clip. No, it's the second to last clip on the Dr. Phil show of the things that are actually visible. And this time I want to make sure that that it actually carries over and that I share the tab.
Still using Google. I saw
Okay. So here Dr. Phil calls out Leonard.
his job, using his job computer, harassing me and my family, and I called the human resources and notified them. They checked Leonard's computer and they found out that I wasn't the only one that he was harassing.
So this is a pattern of behavior, and we went over the playlist, Constance, too. Nickalina is mostly who you are stalking, but it's not the only one.
X Factor. Drama down. Making a clip about somebody is not stalking somebody. You dum-dum.
He actually had multiple restraining orders. After that, Leonard was fired and they actually filed a restraining order against him. My employer did do an investigation and it found out I was not stalking him using their equipment, but they did choose to fire me because it had just caused too much commotion at work.
Rick claims
Who's been fired for causing too much commotion at work? Not me. That'd be Nickalina.
that Leonard, a man that he's
Now this is going to get in. You think this is bad right now? Wait till we really get into the fuck shit in a few minutes.
only met online until right now here today. He contacted his children on social media and told them to alert their friends, parents, and school that Rick was a child molester. So Rick says that he retaliated and got Leonard fired for using his work computer as a weapon to stalk and harass his family.
Why would you be doing that at work? Like, just wait till you're off.
Yeah, Nickalina. Why would you be doing that at work? Just wait to get off work. Have you ever heard of me being involved in any kind of this bullshit on either side? Calling an employer or being my employer? No. Who can we say that though? Nickalina. Yeah, tell me she doesn't know Nickalina without telling me she doesn't know Nickalina.
So you're off work to do whatever that is. I don't understand.
Leonard says that is a lie, and his employer found no evidence that he was cyber stalking.
So Dildo Sauce says Leonard wants booty, and that has extra meaning because it comes from someone named Dildo Sauce.
Rick or his children. But
they fired him anyway.
What do you want from him?
I can tell you.
What if he looked at it and was just like, I want your ass, Rick?
I want you to leave me alone. I want you to stop stalking me. I want you to stop taking pictures of my children. Stop taking pictures of my home. I want you, keep on. I want you to stop telling people that you're getting stalked when you're the one who's stalking me because I called you out for being a child predator.
Now, this is so funny. Listen to what's about to happen here.
So you want him to take your name out of his vocabulary. You want him to not talk about you, not.
I want you to stop telling people that I thought about you sexually.
So he wants Rick to stop telling people that Leonard thinks about him sexually. I think that's the true motivation of this. And whenever his YouTube comments got deleted and rejected, I think it hurt him to such an extent that he started attacking Rick, and then it just got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Hey, Nickalina. Hi. I hope it doesn't get to this level.
Well, taking your name out of his vocabulary completely would cover all of that, right?
Yeah.
If he and his people are willing to totally disengage and have nothing to do with you ever again, are you willing to do the same thing?
No, he's not. The answer to that is no.
I'm willing to disengage, Dr. Phil, absolutely. But when it comes to the evidence I have of you pretending to be a prophet calling little kids,
okay, wait, no,
I'm not going to do it.
No, talk to me. You're not talking to him. I'm asking you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's important because if I delete that evidence, Dr. Phil, then Richard's going to turn around and he's going to say, oh, he never did that.
So let's go to, this is a segue. What does Constance Sue collect? What is she all about? Anybody? Here, I'll scroll. What is all this that she thinks? I'm trying to get into the mind of Constance Sue here. What does she think all this is? She thinks it's... Anybody in the chat? Yeah, well, it's Nickalina, that's true. But she thinks it's evidence to be used against.
It is evidence, you dum-dum.
It's her. Exactly, El Kennedy. Thank you.
It is.
Thank you. This is the mentality of stalkers. I hope you all are starting to see what I'm getting at here. And I am going to try to sum this up, but I will say there is a point where you have to unplug. Because if you don't, this is where it leads. Do you all understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, Nickalina, unplug. Nickalina, unplug. Do a solid favor. Unplug.
Constance Sue, bitch, I hope you listen to this. I want you to see your fucking twin. This is your twin. And no, I'm not talking about twin like this.
Reach. And then Beyond Stupid says, I'm getting scared now. Constance wants Nick, and the rejection is consuming her. Bitch, I haven't made a video in days.
So this is your twin stalker. This is a level of obsession.
Have you not given all this evidence to the authorities?
I informed the FBI back in 2000.
Okay,
So he informed the FBI, which means that he contacted IC3, and he sent all the information in, and that's the evidence. And Dr. Phil is going to lay a bomb on him.
You've done your duty. You have informed the authorities. You're not the internet police here.
No, I'm not.
They are the internet police
That's
here.
right.
You have informed them. You have done your duty, and thank you for doing that. If you feel like something is amiss, you have reported it.
I want you to see his face. This is the face of someone who knows that they're in the wrong and they're being scolded.
You're not the internet police here.
No, I'm not.
They are the internet police
That's
here.
right.
You have informed them. You have done your duty, and thank you for doing that. If you feel like something is amiss,
This face right here is the face of someone who is getting the shit punched out of them with words from Dr. Phil.
you have reported it through proper channels to the proper authority. At this point, I'm asking you, are you willing to stop this internet feud and disengage and leave this alone?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but Nickalina, that's separate. You want to be arrested because you have a fantasy about, the cop telling you to spread them.
Now Nickalina pops up and says, I want to be arrested.
We're trying to be serious here, Nickalina. Now, there is another okay, this is it. This is the last part of the Dr. Phil clip that's publicly available. Now, if any of you can find the full episode, I would forever be grateful because I can't fucking find it. And let me tell you, it's a good thing to watch.
Promise here. When the gunman, if you are willing to do that and never speak of this man again, don't say anything on the internet. Whatever you have on the internet, take it down. You're never to speak of this.
Holly Dolly says, I believe Connie has fell in love with Nickalina. Nick's the daughter she never had. Well, that's a theory.
This man again, whatever you have on the internet, take it down. Then you two can go on about your lives. Think of all the free time that you're going to have in your mind, in your day. and you can start doing something productive with that. You don't have to forgive each other. You don't have to be friends. You just have to stop.
Now I want to rewind this, and I want you all to pretend like Dr. Phil is saying this to Constance Sue. Okay.
You can start doing something productive with that. You don't have to forgive each other.
Let's pretend he's saying it to Nickalina.
You don't have to be friends. You just have to stop. You're willing to quit, turn around, walk away.
Amen.
And you're willing to quit, turn around, and walk away.
Yes, sir. Does that mean?
And you're making that commitment here on national television.
Yeah, but Nickalina, the only reason why you're saying that is because you know the odds are that the FBI agents are in better shape, and if the guy approaches you, he's probably going to be really hot. I know it's feeding into your fantasy, Nickalina. I know. You want some guy who looks like The Rock to, throw you over the hood of a police car and tell you to spread them. I know where you're going.
With millions of witnesses.
That's right. And just so you guys do know, I did spend a lot of my time making sure that.
So Dr. Phil spent all of this time
Fucking
trying to get
weirdo.
Leonard to calm down and stop, and he immediately transitions. I hate using that word as a trans woman.
That's my buzzer sound. No, actually, Karen, maybe you don't know me well enough. I'm very litigious, right? We've talked about this.
Facts. Maybe you don't know her well enough.
I do want to be arrested for what I have done on the internet based on Connie and Easy's their opinion.
Yeah.
I would love to be criminally charged because it would have to fall under a federal jurisdiction since this is the internet. And I absolutely want to file a first impression case for the federal district court regarding internet behavior, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that you underestimate me. I'm still waiting to be
joking about your fantasy.
No,
It was just a joke.
no. I mean, it's not really a fantasy. Sorry, I'm drying clothes and my husband's stinky ass fucking slippers are in there. But I am dead serious. If I am to be arrested for my internet behavior, I would not cry
Right,
about
Kimberly?
it. I would
Yeah,
call my
you'll
attorney
get
and say,
fucked.
"Hey, I think we got another first impression case on our hands. Let's go for this." Because what I do on the internet is no different than what Connie has done. She has doxed family. She has called the police.
Nope.
She has called CPS. Right? It is no different than anything that Easy.
I have not doxed anyone. I have called CPS twice for good cause, not just for random bullshit.
He has gone real life. He has fucked with people. It is no different than what Ernie has done or any other creator like Benny Keys, Tiffany Marie. We can go on and on. I want to be able to be a part of a first impression case. So if it comes up again, it'll be cited. Ruggiero versus the district. No, listen, I have multiple first impression cases where I am cited in lawsuits.
Why would it be Ruggiero? I think it's Fry's her maiden name. I mean, her married name, right?
I want to be arrested, Constance Sue. I want to be arrested. But you know what happens? They're not going to arrest me. Why? Because I'm not breaking any laws. And
No, she's not done anything to me to get arrested for. She has other people, but not me.
if there is a federal agent that decides that they want to arrest me, I am going to cream in my fucking panties. I'm going to call my criminal defense attorney who can defend in federal district court. Then I'm going to call my civil attorney, and we're going to make case law. That is what makes me get off on a fucking daily basis. That turns me on.
You know what, Nickalina, speaking of creaming, that brings us to our video sponsor.
Oh, nice.
Non-shredded socks. Non-shredded socks are available
Fuck
in stores
jokes
everywhere.
like this.
But yes, continue. Sorry.
I think you should play your BDAC commercial.
Oh, my BDAC.
I think you should. Everybody loves that
Hey,
commercial.
can we get a woo for Mark the Shark? He's in the chat.
Woo! No, I want to be arrested. These people don't understand. If I get now, let's say I was to get arrested from the state standpoint.
Yeah.
Guess what? I'll get that dismissed because this would be a federal law, right?
Correct.
I cannot be charged in state court because I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not violating any state of Michigan criminal statute.
Does Michigan have cyber stalking statutes?
Well, I'm not cyber stalking anybody.
Sure, but do they have any kind of
Yes,
cyber
they do.
cyber harassment statutes?
Correct. Yep. But I'm not cyber harassing anybody. That's not cyber harassing me.
That's why I'm asking.
That's why I'm not being charged. That's why I'm not being charged.
Why don't you charge Constance Sue? Because look at this fucking playlist.
No, I don't want to. I want them to get me criminally charged, and I've already got everything with Constance Sue on the Wayback Machine with the archives.org, right? So I have her entire channel backed up on my archives.org account. I'm not fucking stalking Connie. I'm not stalking Easy. I'm not stalking anybody.
Guess who doesn't have whose channel backed up on archive or Wayback Machine? That'd be me. I don't have all of her videos. I don't have nothing archived like that. Come on. And they call me the stalker. Yep, Mama T had grounds. Me too, Kimberly, me too.
But I still want to be criminally charged. I want to make case law here.
That's a very interesting strategy. I did not know that about you, and I'm so glad that I do.
Listen, I have done it in the state of Michigan multiple times. I love being part of first impression cases that set case precedents for certain laws for interpretation.
Yeah, like you want to be that person that attorneys go, according to Ruggiero versus
Shiawassee County, Ruggiero versus Baker College, Ruggiero versus I am cited in multiple lawsuits. These people think I'm scared of them, and I'm not, because I have one of the best criminal defense attorneys in the state and the best civil litigator in the state. So I'm not scared. I'm still fucking waiting, Connie. I thought I was going to jail, Connie. Easy, ATI toast.
Maybe the orders.
I can't make someone else file charges against you, Nickalina.
Still printing. It's been printing for about 6 months.
2 years. 2 years.
The printer, the ink is really dry. They gotta.
It's not only dried; it has been shredded, and it is what it is. But yes, Connie is psychotic. Connie will never achieve what she wishes based on her own playlist. She is a fucking stalker.
And that's what I'm trying to point out. I don't know if you listened to that part, but
I did.
There are so many levels. So the case between Rick and Leonard is unfortunately a case that's at the highest level of stalking, in my opinion. And I don't think that Constance Sue has risen to that level.
I agree.
But what I see is the same shades of what I see in Constance Sue, I see in Leonard. And the thing is I've actually talked to both of those gentlemen on the phone. And I talked to Leonard once on the phone for about an hour, and I've talked to Rick probably about 12 hours on the phone total over the course of like a couple weeks. And I see the shades in Constance Sue. And it's the reason why I wanted to do this. It's not because I'm threatening Constance Sue, it's because I want her to see where that goes. I want her to see how serious that can get. Go ahead.
I want Constance Sue to try to get me arrested.
I'm trying to get Constance Sue to realize the error of her ways, and you're telling her to jump off the cliff.
Listen, I have been threatened with arrest for 2 years now.
Yeah, it's true.
I know what I can and cannot do from a legal standpoint. Sometimes I cross the line, but the state of Georgia, they can't prosecute me. When I called in the whole fake fight during the bullshit with the tragedy fence down in Georgia.
They sure the fuck can. They just had bigger issues like a missing child on their agenda.
I mean, these people want so badly for me to be arrested and in prison for life. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I can afford attorneys. I know state law. You know that an attorney has been on my panel multiple times over the last 2 years. She has also told you that I know the law better than just about every paralegal in the state of Michigan. And there's a reason for that, because I'm not a fucking retard. Now, can I be absolutely egotistical about it? Fuck yeah. But I'll still, you handcuff me and take me to jail for a crime based on YouTube, I'm gonna fucking smile in my mugshot, and then I'm gonna fuck you up later. And I'll win.
You know what? For anyone that's listening to this right now,
for
anyone that's listening to this right now, if you ever get arrested by the police and they try to ask you questions, or especially if they take you into an invitation, it's not even that. The best thing to say is, you seem like a really nice person, but I don't really need to answer your questions because I don't have an attorney present.
That's not even what you say. No, baby. You say, I'm sorry, my attorney isn't here.
What you say is, am I under arrest? If they say no, you leave. If they say yes, you say, I want an attorney. It's that simple, ladies.
In the state of Michigan, according to laws, the police can lie to you, but if you lie to the police, they will charge you with a felony. You do not speak to them.
Exactly.
Even if they intimidate you, you'll be like, yeah, that's a cool story, bro, but I'm not talking to you.
And that's the point of what I'm saying. If you just say, no, I'm not gonna answer that, then they'll just keep trying to ask you one question after another. But if you say, you know what, you seem like a nice person, but I'm not gonna answer any of your questions because I don't have an attorney present, that lets them know immediately this conversation is not gonna go anywhere.
Me personally, I look at them and say, really, bro? Call my attorney. You're not getting anything from me. I'm not gonna help your case.
Yeah.
Because your case is weak, and I'm gonna beat your ass in litigation, and then it doesn't matter. My attorney, you guys go check it out. My attorney takes it all the way up to the state Michigan Supreme Court. He doesn't fuck around. Neither do I. Doesn't matter how many years it takes to make case law. I'm there for it, baby.
There you go. That's.
I like to brag about it, Karen, because I'm not afraid, and they try to make me afraid.
Yeah, but they don't understand what you've been through and what the wars that you've already fought.
The war she's already fought. Come on now. Hey, Kentucky.
Before they showed up.
Mm-hmm. This is just entertainment for me.
Yeah, I understand. And
is your hair curly? Oh my god!
No,
are you sure? It looks really curly on the bottom.
Well,
I love it. What is that? It's not straight.
It's just my regular hair.
Oh, I've never seen that's curly.
There was a small YouTube channel that tagged me, and she made a video. And she was like, "Why do you wear headphones? Is that for your hairpiece?" I'm like, "Bitch, I don't wear a hairpiece. This is my hair."
No.
So hey, if you're watching, bitch, El Kennedy, don't you fucking clip this and make another video. Hey, I should have saved that video that El Kennedy made about my hair. I know you watched that.
I did. I watched it with you whipping it. I whip my hair back and forth. I whip my hair back and forth. Yeah. It was a great hair whip. It was great.
So there you go. This is my real fucking hair. So all of you bitches.
Your hair's
all
longer than mine.
All you bitches who got something to say, this is my real hair.
I
So
love it. Your hair's curly as shit at the bottom. I never noticed that.
It is, but a lot of this is, it's nice. I'll be honest. Whenever the sun's shining, it's like golden brown. So I do like that. But I do need to get a haircut though, because I have some split ends. So
Have you seen the TikTok split end machine?
mm-mm.
Megan wants me to order it, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't think so.
I throw my hair back and forth. Now you're gonna have
Throw
me
my
singing that
hair
song.
back and forth. All right, I'm gonna pop down, but Constance Sue, easy, Ernie, get me arrested for fuck's sakes. I've been waiting 2 years.
Well, I don't think Easy. I think Easy has his own problems now that his baby mama has told the truth about him.
I heard baby mama number 1 may be coming to YouTube. As Frank just said, ooh,
Baby
I heard
mama.
she might be.
There you go.
All right,
So,
I'm dropping down. Thank you for letting me interrupt your show.
Oh, sorry,
Go game show.
It's a continuation.
You can't see me.
There you go.
All right, bye.
Okay, so where were we at? We were talking about how Leonard's level of intensity with obsession correlates to Constance Sue's level of playlist obsession. And the last thing that I was covering, and I will share this tab, is the last part where Dr. Phil, what is Dr. Phil trying to do? This is one of the reasons why I bought this headset. I can keep talking while I go over here for a second. So Leonard was trying, or Dr. Phil was trying to get Rick and especially Leonard to walk away, right? Just walk away, stop talking about each other, let it go live your fucking lives, right? By the way, if any of you, like Katie, if you're still listening, I have a feeling that you've probably been like stalked, or like you've experienced stuff like this, just because of the nature of like what you've been through in your life. And I mean, you're getting it already online. So if anyone else wants to come up and share any experience, no matter how small or big, feel free to do that. But we're going to continue with this last section. So this is like 1 minute left.
Right. And just so you guys do know, I did spend a lot of my time making sure that kids were safe out there. You can laugh.
Well, I didn't want to say anything, but usually if you come from like the modeling world or like the commercial or magazine world, you usually get stalkers pretty commonly.
You can laugh all you want, but I actually did, because it's not normal for an adult to go and contact kids like that.
But he never, that's the thing. Leonard keeps saying that, but the minors contacted the minors called in on Rick's call-in show. He had no control over who was making the fucking call.
We're starting this now.
And if I do find you on the internet contacting kids again, Rich, guess what?
God.
Guess what?
You're going to keep it up.
I'm going to show the public.
By doing what you just said you're going to not do.
Right. Okay.
That's
Asking kids
It was like, Rick is like, by doing what you just said that you were not going to do. And then I was like, yeah.
to meet up with you behind closed doors and then trying to hide that evidence.
Okay,
but
now
you
wait a
just say you have
minute.
no proof.
Wait,
It's on the internet, buddy.
Stop. Are you telling me you're not going to quit here?
What I'm saying, Dr. Phil, is if he goes back on the internet and starts pretending to be this prophet figure that can read your mind by touching your shoulder,
So you really don't want to stop. You want to stay engaged here, because I've asked you if you'll.
So Rick believes that the aliens gave him the ability to discern people's true intentions and sometimes predict their futures if he has the ability to just touch you on the shoulder. Now, he can't do it on the internet, but if he touches you on the shoulder, like if you're working with him or whatever, and you ask him for some advice, he can touch you on the shoulder. And Rick claims that the aliens gave him special abilities, and that's what Leonard is talking about here. But see, Leonard takes it to a whole other level, and he's like, "No, you're talking about, you're trying to use what you're saying here to get involved with children, which is like not even what Rick is trying to do."
You'll just quit and walk away. If you
I hate to break it to you, Rick, but if you're saying that you can touch people on the shoulder and talk to aliens, people are going to make fun of you. Stupid.
if you see something that bothers you, call the authorities.
Well,
that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do.
I've done that.
Okay, because you made a commitment here on national television that you're going to do something, and if you violate that, then it looks really bad for you.
Okay, so that's where we left off. So, here I am, picture this, sitting in my living room. I finished watching this full episode at that time, and I was thinking to myself, this is not over between them. And then I thought, I wonder if they're on YouTube. So what do? I do a search for Dr. Phil and Rick, Dr. Phil and Leonard, and obviously all Dr. Phil shit comes up, but other channels pop up, and guess who it is? It's Leonard's YouTube channels talking about Rick, and Rick's channels talking about Leonard. So after the show aired, they had their own YouTube channel set up so that people such as myself who wanted to go onto YouTube and continue to learn more could go and then interact with their channels. And they had ads, they had monetization. Well, Rick did, Leonard didn't. But Leonard was able to make a pretty good bag by simply having his channel up and trying to defend himself. So in one of the videos, now all these channels are long deleted. They've long since been took down due to court orders, stalking orders, like whatever, you name it.
So Rick was able to make a pretty good bag by being outrageous, extreme, and ridiculous. We got it. He's making a pretty good bag. I hate that word bag. He's making a really good bag.
Like policy violations on YouTube, but we're talking a long time ago, right? We're talking back in 2017. So I left a comment on both of. I created, not really created, but I got a burner phone, and I left a comment on each of their channels, and I asked for them to call. I said, "Hey, I'm going through a stalking experience. Can one of you?" Or I said, "Hey, can you call me?" And I just left my number. And I left the same message on both of their on one of their videos on their channels. And Rick called me in like 10 minutes. Boom. And I was amazed. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm talking to the dude from Dr. Phil." It was the craziest shit ever, you all. So Rick called me in 10 minutes, and Rick was paranoid as hell that I was Leonard or one of Leonard's friends trying to attack him. So I spent the first hour talking with Rick, trying to convince him that I wasn't there to hurt him or his family or anybody. And I told him that I had my own experiences with a stalker, and that I was simply seeking out advice. So
if you have a stalker, do you need advice? Call the police. Remember, she was in the military. She was an officer in the military. Mm-hmm. But she don't know what to do about stalker. I was contacting these complete strangers on the internet to get advice about stalking. I didn't Google it. I didn't talk to the police officer. No, no. I contacted two complete strangers.
the next day, so he had my number the next day. We ended up scheduling a phone call, and we talked more. And so I got to learn more about what Rick had been through. Hey, how are you doing, beautiful butterflies? I got to learn Rick's experiences. He shared a bunch of YouTube channels that he had that nobody knew about, and I watched all those videos. I'm caught up on Rick. Rick has lost several jobs because he's moved several times. At the time that I talked to him, he was a dishwasher at a local restaurant, just stacking paper. And I don't think people realize the level and the extent that Rick had been harmed by.
Now let me get this straight. Rick and Leonard had made YouTube videos. Rick made a pretty good bag on his, telling his stories, but Rick was the one that was stalked and had to move all those times. And Rick's a dishwasher now because of it. Well, maybe Rick's the one that needs to not engage. And you're going to him for advice? This is ridiculous.
By Leonard. And I'm not going to share everything that Leonard told me about, but what I will say is that the number one thing that Leonard kept telling me is there is nothing that you can do about stalking. There's nothing you can do about. So, like, I would ask him, I said, "Can you give me advice on my stalker? Like, what should I do?" So, obviously, you have Leonard stalking you. Is there anything that I can do? Do you have any recommendations for me? And so then he said, "There's nothing you can do," which obviously I didn't like because the reason why I contacted him in the first place is because I was seeking answers. Let me go here and do that. So, I was trying to get answers from him, and his answer was, "I've contacted the local police, I've contacted the Washington police, I've contacted the FBI. Nothing ever fucking happened." And I'm not going to tell you what his solution was because that completely violates YouTube's terms of service. But basically, he told me that there's nothing you can do aside from taking matters into your own hands. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do that because I appreciate my life and I enjoy my life. So I'm not going to, go there. And I became friends with him. And just so you all know, obviously I used a burn number. I didn't reveal anything. So don't think that you're going to, some of my fucking doxers out here in these different communities, please don't try to reach out to Rick in an effort to try to get my identity because Rick has no fucking clue who I am. And I didn't reveal anything. In fact, I used a burner number to contact him. Now, when it comes to Leonard, Leonard also contacted me a couple days later. I talked to him one time on the phone for about an hour. Thanks, El Kennedy. But when it comes to that, Leonard was not as paranoid about talking to me. His biggest concern was making sure that I understand that Rick is the issue, Rick has done this, Rick has done that, and it was almost like he was pleading his own case. So after I'm talking to these people, things just sort of died down, and I stopped talking to them. Obviously,
she wondered what to do about online stalking so much that she engages two weirdos she doesn't know. Well, a simple Google search says, report it to the police. Don't engage. Block them. Tell your friends. Remove your personal information from the internet. Don't post information about your location. U.S. Code Section 22618, which prohibits the crime of stalking, was amended to impose penalties for someone who uses a mail, any interactive computer service or electronic communication service or electronic communication system with the intent to injure, intimidate, kill, harass, or surveil someone. Now, I cannot believe that the U.S. would make a special code section for cyber harassment if there was nothing you could do about cyber harassment. Remember, she's supposedly a military officer.
obviously, I was kind of shocked that I was able to speak to both of them, because they were on the Dr. Phil show, and it's almost like you're celebrities, right? You're celebrities on the show, and then I found it to be interesting how easy it was to get hold of these people. But at the end of the day, I still wanted to maintain my privacy, but I was also paying attention to their situation because it related to mine somewhat. It wasn't as aggressive. So where does that leave us? Well, shortly after I stopped talking to them, this happened. This is in May of 2018. So, oh God. They continue to harass each other. They continue to go on the internet every now and then, like once every 8 to 12 months. They'll have a rendezvous where they interrupt each other, or they find each other on the panel, or a host on YouTube hosts their channel, and the next thing you know, the other person joins and they all start arguing. Well, here is this channel that hosted a 1 hour and 55-minute video about this situation. So this is after the Dr. Phil show. They continued to harass each other. Nothing was solved. The Dr. Phil show did not do anything but gain viewers and ratings off of these two. It didn't solve anything at all. If anything, it made it worse. So here we have this channel that goes on, and this is like a secret channel or whatever. And so this is outside of Dr. Phil, right? So we're moving on to even more fuck shit involving these two. So this YouTube channel is asking, this person doesn't have a face or a voice. They just hide behind this dot, and they're interviewing Leonard. So asking questions, and Leonard is answering those questions.
To LA to go on his show, and the Dr. Phil producers and I were emailing each other back and forth talking about these threats. And when I went on stage, Dr. Phil acknowledged that he received that evidence, but he refused to play it on stage and in front of everybody. And that's why you see me saying, why are you just blowing that off?
I would love to go to Dr. Phil.
So here, Leonard claims that Dr. Phil openly chose to ignore evidence that he sent to his producers. And when they put the binder together, they chose to not include that information in the show. And he is threatening to sue Dr. Phil. Now, I'm going to advance this forward because here we have, let me see. At what point?
Because you're asking because you mentioned, can I respond?
So Leonard and Rick ends up coming up on this person's channel, and they start arguing with each other.
If you shut your mouth.
You shut the fuck up, motherfucker. You ain't telling nobody to shut their mouth. You ain't saying
Because you
shit,
shut your
bitch.
mouth.
So this is the X-rated shit that you're going to get that's not filtered by the Dr. Phil show. This is the real stuff.
Just shut up. I'm on here to answer a
Shut the
question.
fuck up, motherfucker. You ain't telling nobody to shut the fuck up. You are a piece of shit that goes to little boys and girls saying, I can read your mind by touching your shoulder. Let me just give you a little
I'm calling you a liar because you have no proof. And then you're going to get mad like a little ass kid. Watch.
Just like you went on the fucking internet and said, oh, we're all going to get invaded by spaceships in 2015 because I'm a prophet. You're a low life.
This big old hoopla, because someone said you're a pedophile and someone said you could touch somebody on the internet and talk to aliens. Could you imagine if Dr. Phil got a hold of all the fuck shit that Nickalina did? Not just one or two things. Can you imagine what would be said if they got all of it put together with my handy dandy playlist?
Low life piece of shit liar. You got a narcissistic personality
Okay.
disorder.
I'll respond.
Grow the fuck up. Grow the fuck up. You can't respond. You're not capable of responding, Richard Granule.
Okay, Benny, you see what I'm dealing with, correct?
That you've done. Don't try to
Thank
say
you.
correct.
You see what I'm dealing with. Benny, I'm just trying to answer a
You
question.
want to threaten my fucking kids and then get on Dr. Phil say, oh, I never did that. You fucking pussy.
So this is after the Dr. Phil show.
Be a fucking man. Own up to your shit.
I'm a man right here. You ain't saying shit, but yelling. You're a little ass kid, dude. Talk to me.
You're the fuck you and talk. You want to talk to little boys and girls about the dick you're seeing. Fuck you, faggot. You want to talk to little boys and say, oh, you can get invaded. Oh,
I hear that one. I got that right here.
Yeah, I'm going to skip that part.
You want?
No, you don't have that one right there. Richard has wet, just like we went on Dr. Phil, and Richard said, I never made a video of his children. That was a lie. Benny has even seen videos of Richard making perverted videos of my children.
Okay, so it's probably good at this point to put this up. Warning, some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning.
There's a phone call where Richard says, if you go on that Dr. Phil show, if you mention my name, I swear to God. And it's because Richard knew in his mind that there was a potential possibility that people were going to see Richard is a liar, he's a con artist, he can't afford it.
I can explain it right now.
He can't afford it. No, you can't explain shit. You went on Dr.
Because you don't want to hear shit.
Nope, you are a liar, you're a cheater, you're a con artist. And you sit there,
How can I lie when you don't let me say anything?
The American people, how can I say mothers and fathers so that you can get closer and closer to their kids? That's all you've done since September of 2007. You low life, lying, child praying piece of shit.
Well, I would think a low life person would have a restraining order from you. You have a restraining order against Nikki's kids, correct?
So part of the problem with this is that Leonard won't shut the fuck up and let Rick talk at all. So I would love to be able to hear what Rick has to say, but Leonard just basically spurgs out. Yep, exactly. You called it. Just never shuts up.
And went to jail for that. Now you didn't get that restraining order because you hugged him too much. Why did you get that restraining order? Or what? You don't have an answer for that.
So Benny's here typing on the screen, but Rick,
You have an answer for that.
Benny knows that
Don't.
Richard
Well, let's move on.
to cover up the lie. So ladies and gentlemen, look at.
I want you to remember all this started, for those of you who are just now tuning in, all of this started because this guy on screen with this avatar or whatever reached out to Rick in one of his music videos and started talking romantically in a way that might be considered a little, a little sexy. And Rick didn't respond well to it. That's what all this has got started about.
Exactly. You don't have an answer why Nikki had a restraining order against you. No, you don't.
Richard will not talk about
Exactly. You ain't got shit on me.
Haha, gotcha, bitch. Gotcha. Go ahead now, Richard, because I'm going to slice and dice this video. I'm going to show everybody. You do call little boys and girls.
That doesn't matter because I already got you on here. So kill me twice already.
Hey, we're talking about Richard Raniel calling little boys and girls, claiming he can read their mind by touching their shoulder.
And people are going to say, show me the proof, and they're going to say, fuck you, go find your own proof.
Because we showed it to the world. I showed it to your wife.
This is something that I would like. Nickalina says that bro is cray cray. I would love for one of these true crime people to do a deep dive into these two individuals, because I'm not really a true crime person, but you can rest assured that these at least Leonard has committed crimes. He just hasn't been arrested for it. And
What the hell would you need to do a deep dive into it for?
And I mean, this story writes itself in terms of how intense it's been. 14 years of stalking and harassment at this point.
And that's why she emailed me and said,
yeah, she said you're full of shit. You showed us Dr. Phil. You said you're full of shit.
She emailed me and said her family fell apart. You know why they fell apart?
And what does Constance Sue do? Like, I keep going back to that because it's important. I see the same patterns. Everywhere Nickalina goes, for the most part, you'll see Constance Sue go in. When Nickalina started going to Queen Bee's panel and talking, where was Constance Sue?
I call reverse bullshit on that. Who went to where I was? That'd be Nickalina.
She would show up and start talking about Nickalina on panel. This is a pattern. I was on AC's panel last week, and Nickalina came in and started talking. She has this way of like being stalking and obsessing. Raylan says true crime only cares about making money off missing kids. That's probably true.
Because you continue.
I got everybody under my roof. I have a roof.
But you would think that they might be interested in this because Leonard is making claims that Rick is targeting children.
What about you?
Right.
And you
Right.
ask me for that.
Where are their hearts? Where are their hearts, buddy? Where are
talking about? They're right here under my roof.
Your children saw you go on Dr. Phil.
Yeah, give me 2 minutes, Teresa. Yeah, that's what she says all the time.
My children got nothing to do with this, boy.
You got accused of being a child molester, and when you sat
By
there,
a fucking idiot.
Well, you put your fucking head down. You couldn't answer as to why you're calling little boys and girls.
I'll answer it right now. I'll answer it right now. Ask me that question.
No, you want to throw little distractions to the American people so that they don't know you got an addiction. You're talking to
American people. I'm talking to you.
No, you ain't talking to nobody. You little like piece of shit.
Exactly, because you're asking me because you're making me feel third.
You ain't tough. You ain't never been in
Man,
jail. You a
man,
serial
get the
gangster.
fuck out of here, man.
Shut the fuck up. Why are you calling little boys and girls talking about your dick, bitch?
Man, that's all you talk about.
Why you
all day long, dude. You ain't showing nothing. Channel got shut down because you're a fucking bull.
You talked about for 10 years. That's all your stupid ass talked about for 10 years with kids.
I didn't fall flag shit. I didn't fall flag. People flagged the shit because after the Dr. Phil show, they saw him using the word nigger and faggot and all that shit, so they took it down. Especially after all these things.
The host of the video says, but he's black, he could use it.
It got flagged and it got put down. And those are the videos that he's never taken down. Take down, Lenny. Get the fucking channels down. I can read your
But he's black, he can do that.
mind, and you're a fucking scared ass nobody who wishes you were me.
Right?
You want everything I have, and you're
so,
back.
no, this is great. So what Richard is saying is that I want to be Richard because Richard
You know everything about me. You fucking.
Oh, Fluffy over here has bumped her head. She says, Nickalina is the calmest and most sweetest, calm person ever. Oh, Fluffy. I'm so disappointed in you.
Just like you said, in 2015, you're going to be more important than the president. Don't explain that, Richard. What do you mean?
You're still on my dick.
Come on, buddy. There you go, talking about your dick again. You wish. Now, come on.
That's you. A fucking fruitcake who won't get off it.
So it's hard to hear Rick here, but Rick says you're a fruitcake, Leonard, and you won't get off my dick. And I think that's what this is really all about.
Why are you calling little boys
and girls? Fuck you. Talk about what's going on right now between
Why are you calling little boys and girls talking about?
I've never called no little boy. What little boy and little girl has a phone, you idiot?
Hey,
and what little boy and little girl's mama's letting them talk to people, idiot?
Hey, Ben, did you hear the phone call where he talks to Paige and Doretta?
The girl in the music video with the who are alive and well.
Now, Richard,
I murdered these.
bit at a time.
I murdered you guys.
That's
somebody.
Okay,
let's absolutely making up shit again. Probably happened in my back. Okay. When did what happen, man?
You know exactly what we're still talking about. That 13-year-old girl you said we're still talking about that little girl you said you watched get molested and you took out her clothes. That's what
No.
Get to talking, motherfucker. No. Richard's not gonna talk about.
I'm like a little kid when you do that.
So this is insane. This is the kind of shit that Dr. Phil wouldn't put on his show. And Leonard, as you all can see, I went over Dr. Phil's show. So Leonard was holding back so much. If you go back and you listen, Leonard was being very, very conservative with his beliefs on that show. But here he's just fucking letting it loose. Says, well, that sounds kind of fun. Oh, being abducted by aliens. Is that crazy dude? Easy's mentor? I don't know. This is Leonard on screen right now. That's Leonard. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, thank you, FBI. I appreciate that. He sounds like just like Connie. He kind of is. It reminds me a lot in terms of that that level of obsession.
You're literally a child-minded weirdo. Who does that? That's fucking odd as fuck.
Who calls little boys and girls saying they can read their mind by touching their shoulder?
I've never called a little boy or a little girl.
Yes, you have. And I've just proved it. Just like you claimed that you were a
you just proved it by moving your mouth and lying. Nothing. You're focusing on nothing.
You're a low-life piece of shit liar. And you know what's the saddest thing of all? Is instead of being a man just saying, yeah, you're a child predator, you're a liar, you're a low-life.
Nickalina, all you have to do is just type in Dr. Phil Stalker on YouTube and you'll find them. There's not that many stalking episodes on Dr. Phil.
Couldn't muck up anything in fucking life. That's why you're washing dishes right now. Sorry, you couldn't do that. Instead, what you had to do is,
No problem, Teresa.
Raper. Everybody be afraid. You're such a low-life piece of shit. You went through your daughter under the
You
bus.
said on the show, you and Amy
No
didn't have
wonder
your
your
daughter.
daughter
You're
turned
unfunny
gay.
man.
No wonder your daughter turned gay.
Remember you said
No
that?
wonder your daughter turned gay. No wonder
You remember you said that?
You as
So I
well.
can't remember.
So anyway, this is them arguing for a long period of time, and then it goes over to the last thing that I'll show you, and this is where I believe this is the last public-facing communication that they had with one another, and it was 2 years ago, and I'll show that. So here it's on a panel. They looks like this was in 2021, August the 16th, 2021. They confront each other on panel, so obviously there's other people on panel, and they go over the Dr. Phil show. So it looks like this is, for the most part, these are different clips from the show, just like I went over, and then they talk over top of it. This is only a 25-minute video, so judging by how short it is and how long Leonard talks, my guess is that Rick hung up, and then Leonard spurred, and then they ended the video. That's what I think happened. But let me finish up here in chat. The repetitiveness is constant to a T. It really is. Leonard, aka the guy on Yeezy. Oh my gosh, Stitch. Let me close that up. All right. I'm going to load the music here in the background. That was a lot to take in. What was the point?
Thank you, Sharianne,
Point is,
for being a member for 8 months.
I want you to see where stalking takes you. I want you to see how it can ruin lives, how it can ruin family, your wife, your husband, your children, your friends. It can force you to move. It can give you extreme levels of
She wants to show how my obsession could ruin families. My obsession could do everything this, but not Nickalina's. Okay. Remember, she was an officer in the military. I like all of the dum-dums. Hey, Raindrop.
levels of anxiety. And something as simple as replying to someone's comments and they take it the wrong way, like you did with Leonard and Rick, can develop into something as serious as it is now with them. And it is my belief that Constance Sue has many of the same characteristics as Leonard, and I think that she should heed my warning and she should listen.
Name me 2.
Uh-oh. Hello, hello, hello. What
Hey,
about now?
Andy.
Hello, 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 hello. Maybe, oh, I do have echo cancellation on. It's always been on. It could just be internet issues. Where was I? Anyway, like I was saying, my intent in making this video is that I hope Constance Sue is able to see the level of where you can go with stalking behavior. And there comes a point where you either unplug and walk away, or you keep diving deeper. And in this case, Leonard chose to keep diving deeper into the scenario. And whoops, sorry about that. And because of that,
Bitch, I don't have to dive deeper. She does something the next day. It's just a repeated pattern. She does something and I'll document it. She does something and I'll document it. So maybe you want to have a heart-to-heart with your girl there, Nickalina, and tell her how this can all be bad on her end. If she didn't do stupid shit, I wouldn't have to document it, right? Awesome. I really wish you would.
because of that, I would like to tell you about some of the shit that's happened with Leonard. Leonard has lost all of the jobs that he's had since 2016. He now rides the bus. He has several piercings all over his face. He has tattoos all over his body. He's completely changed since this Dr. Phil episode. He looks crazy.
I still have the job I had when I got here. I don't have any tattoos or piercings all over my face. Kentucky, thank you for the 499 super sticker. Is she desperate for attention or what? The name and her title is wrong. Right. I don't know why she did this. I guess my reason was because Nick was riding hard for her, so she had to go ride hard for Nick, and this is the best way she knew how. She had to relate it to her somehow too.
Here on the Dr. Phil episode, I'll share this tab. He looks okay. Like, he looks crazy, but he looks okay. Like, this is a normal looking guy. But since then, he has become completely deranged. Whenever he gets on a bus to ride public transit, he has a stuffed animal that he puts next to him so that he looks crazy and no one sits next to him. He has completely disassociated from everyone around him. And now he's making videos talking about his alien encounters and his experiences. And basically, he's lost his mind. Now, the question becomes, did he do this as a result of his stalking behavior? Did he become so obsessed that he lost it? Or was Leonard already crazy, and this was just one of the rabbit holes that he decided to go down?
Well, I'm no military officer, you know, but I'm going to say he was already crazy. Stupid.
So that's what I'm wondering, is when did he snap? And when did it get that bad to where his life completely changed? He became homeless and completely changed and morphed his body and especially his face. There are videos that you might be able to find on YouTube of him talking about his alien abduction encounters, and he looks so much different. He looks very unwell. And I think about Constance Sue and how some of that might be turning over. Now, when it comes to Nickalina and Constance Sue, when you compare Rick and Leonard's situation to Constance Sue and Nickalina, it's not even close in terms of intensity. Obviously,
well, that's the only smart thing you said the whole time.
The situation on Dr. Phil show was much more intense. But the situation with Constance Sue is at its early stages.
The early stages. Shit. Thank you, Angelina.
And this intensity that Rick and Leonard are at, it developed over time. So they've been doing this for almost 14 years. So that level of intensity, I'm afraid, it might get worse and worse and worse as the years go by. So what I'm wondering is Constance Sue the next Leonard? You know, this guy right here. Is Constance Sue the next Leonard? Who's going to be fucking, you know, and I go back to what triggered me to think this. Was this huge fucking playlist. It's all about Nickalina. The average person is not, there might be some of you out here might make a playlist on someone you don't like and you might add some videos to it, right? The average person. But very, very, very few of you are going to make 140 plus playlists that are exclusively about Nickalina. It takes a special level of stalker. And that's what I'm worried about.
Now stop trying to spin the narrative. There's not 140 playlists that are exclusively Nickalina. And back to my original point. If I have 140 playlists, that's because she's fucked with 140 people or situations. So let's look at who and see has the problem and might need to change their ways before they go batshit crazy.
Worried about. Nickalina says yes, she is. Probably answering my question there about if she's the next Leonard. Consterned. And that's the reason why I titled this live stream, Constance Sue has something to stalk. Is because I do believe that. That's what it is. She's looking for something to waste her time. Because she's avoiding her real life. And I think if she unplugs and focuses on her real life, this situation regarding constantly, stalking Nickalina.
Let me tell you, dum-dum, I am an older woman whose kids are grown and out of the house, who works now part-time, which leaves me a lot of free time. Whether where I would be knitting or crocheting or going to bridge, or going to tea, I'm on YouTube. It's not that hard, Officer X Factor. I still can't believe you're in the military because you just come up with the most ridiculous shit. Talk about, I would hate to have you at the head of the war table because you'd have us engaged in fight over nothing. Because you're so extreme and you drag thing out to be drama llama way more than it has to be. Would you like that before you had surgery? Oh God, now I'm going to be a transphobe.
It will become less important. It might not go away, but it'll become less important. And so I understand what Nickalina is saying about I would like to be an impression case and all that stuff. I know, right? I don't even have that on my Ernie playlist. There you go. I understand what Nickalina is saying, but what I'm saying is, personally, I don't want to see Constance Sue get to that point. But I see the flags.
Then don't watch.
The red flags. Now, if anyone else wants to ever share anything, feel free to come up. That is very much the end of this stream. Thank you all so much for coming today. Thank you so much. Grubby Goat, welcome. You just stepped in at toward the end. We're 2 hours in. You're visualizing Constance boarding a bus with a stuffed animal, basically. Thank you all so much for being a part of this video. There was a lot of adult themes here, a lot of sensitive material, and I know that it's not for everyone. Until then, I guess my message is for the person that this video is about, which is Constance Sue, and that is stop stalking people. Focus on your own fucking life. If your life is that terrible that you have to obsess about other people's life, then you need to look within. And that's my final message. Everyone, thank you so much for stopping by, and hope you have a...
And my final message is back at ya. Back at ya. So there, that was that. That was that. Take off my overlay that Easy made me. I wasn't going to cover it until I seen all this bullshit. I was like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous. Thank y'all for joining me. Now stick around because I have an outro now. And I'm going to play it for you real quick.
Miracle woman, she's a lyrical omen. Panel hopper, showstopper, truth dropper, boom. Receipt keeper, truth seeker, loudspeaker, human shielding, chainsaw wielding, shake the building, break the net, make them cry, steady streaming, extra fly, keep them shook, Chromebook, keep the cash dropping, no stopping, breaking mopping, she's mind dropping. Constance Sue, we love you, girl. Constance Sue, we got something to say to you. Connie Sue, we appreciate all you do. You do, we do. Miracle woman, she's a lyrical omen. White knighting, gaslighting, reigniting, right fighting, inciting, boom. Miracle woman, lyrical omen. Gatekeeper, street sweeper, grim reaper, you are the miracle woman, the lyrical omen. You're always standing alone, regardless of who's standing with you. Sure, Jan, you may think you're alone, but we've been backstage all along. 'Cause Connie Sue, we've got something to say to you. We love you, Connie Sue. Connie Sue, we appreciate all